James and Linda had a love story that felt like a fairy tale. They had been best friends since their university days, and when they got married, everyone admired their bond. They were each other's rock, always laughing, always supporting one another. When Linda got pregnant, James was overjoyed. He showered her with love, making sure she was comfortable at all times. He often placed his hands on her growing belly, whispering, "I can't wait to meet you, my little princess." But fate had other plans. The day Linda gave birth to their daughter Sophia, tragedy struck. Complications arose, and despite the doctor's efforts, Linda took her last breath. James was shattered. He held his newborn daughter in his arms, tears streaming down his face. "I will love you enough for both of us, my little angel," he whispered. From that day on, James devoted himself to raising Sophia. He fed her, bathed her, rocked her to sleep, and never let her feel the absence of a mother. But deep inside, he was lonely. Then he met Victoria. Victoria was a young, beautiful woman who worked at a nearby store. She was always cheerful, always kind to Sophia. She would play with the little girl, buy her sweets, and treat her as if she were her own. James saw her kindness and believed he had found the perfect woman to be both his companion and a mother to Sophia. After a year of friendship, he proposed. Victoria eagerly accepted and they got married. For the first few years, things were good. Sophia finally had a mother to tuck her in at night and a warm presence in the house. Then, Victoria gave birth to Emily, and 2 years later, Olivia. That was when everything changed. At first, it was small things. "Sophia, why don't you let Emily sit next to me instead?" Victoria would say with a sweet forced smile. Or, "Sophia, you don't need shoes yet. Emily and Olivia need them more." But soon, the love she once showed to Sophia turned into coldness. Then tragedy struck. One raining evening, James had to travel to another town for business. He kissed his daughters goodbye. "Be good, my angels. I'll be back soon," he said before driving off. But he never came back. His car crashed into a truck on the highway. Victoria received the call that night. "He is gone," the voice on the phone said. Victoria fell to her knees, tears in her eyes. But deep inside, another thought crept in. "I am in charge now." Sophia, just 10 years old, cried for days. She clung to her father's clothes, refusing to believe he was gone. From that moment, Victoria's marks fell off completely. The very next morning, Victoria packed up all James' things and locked them in his room. "This is my house now," she declared coldly. Sophia was confused. "But daddy's room, don't ever mention his name again," Victoria snapped. Her eyes filled with something dark. That was the beginning of Sophia's nightmare. She was no longer allowed to sit with them at the dining table. "Why should you sit with us when you don't belong here?" Victoria sneered one evening, yanking her plate away. Her stepsisters, Emily and Olivia, laughed. "She looks like a housemaid anyway," Emily giggled. Victoria turned to Sophia. "That's exactly what you are now, my housemaid." From that day on, Sophia was given all the chores: sweeping, washing clothes, scrubbing floors. If she didn't finish on time, Victoria would slap her or refuse to let her eat. But no matter how much they mistreated her, Sophia would never speak back. It was the first day of school after the holidays. Sophia woke up before the sun rose, excitement bubbling in her chest, and she couldn't wait to go back to school. She had always loved learning, and her father had told her that education was the key to a better future. She quickly wore her neatly pressed school uniform and tied her shoes. The uniform was old, slightly faded, but she didn't care. She was just happy to go back to school. As she stepped out of her small room, she saw Emily and Olivia already in the sitting room, wearing their brand new school uniforms, their shoes shining like they've never been worn before. Victoria stood by the table, fixing their hair with a proud smile on her face. "Good morning, Mama," Sophia greeted politely. Victoria turned to her, eyeing her uniform with disgust. "Where do you think you are going?" she asked coldly. Sophia frowned, confused. "To school, Mama. Today is the first day of the new term." Victoria laughed, a sharp, mocking laugh that sent shivers down Sophia's spine. "School?" she repeated. "Who told you that you are still going to school?" Sophia's heart dropped. "But, Mama, I have to go. Papa always said." Victoria's face darkened. "Don't mention your father's name to me. He is gone, and I make the rules now." Tears welled up in Sophia's eyes. "Please, Mama, I love school. I want to learn." Victoria stepped closer and leaned in, her voice low and sharp. "And who will pay your school fees, eh? Do you think money grows on trees?" Sophia swallowed hard. "I can help around the house more. I can wake up earlier. I can clean." Victoria's palm landed on Sophia's cheek with a slap. "You are useless," Victoria hissed. "Do you think you are better than my daughters? Only Emily and Olivia will go to school. You will stay at home and work." Sophia's lips trembled as she touched her burning cheek. "But, Mama, Papa would never." "I am not your mother," Victoria screamed. "Stop calling me that. You are nothing but a burden in this house." Sophia took a step back, her vision blurry. "But you said you loved me before Papa died," she whispered. Victoria's eyes flashed with anger. "I was pretending. You were never my child, and you will never be. Now take off that uniform before I tear it off your body." Emily and Olivia laughed quietly in the background, enjoying the scene. "Poor Sophia," Olivia said in a mocking tone. "Looks like you are just a housemaid now." "Not even a housemaid," Emily added. "At least housemaids get paid." Sophia's hand shook as she unbuttoned her uniform, her dreams crumbling before her eyes. She turned to Victoria one last time, hoping for mercy. "Please, Mama, I beg you." Victoria's face remained hard. "Your place is in this house, sweeping, washing, and cooking for my daughters. The sooner you accept that, the better for you." Sophia bit her lips, holding back a sob. She wanted to fight back. She wanted to scream, but she knew it was useless. "I miss you, Daddy," she whispered to herself every night as she cried in the small storeroom where she was forced to sleep. Sophia grew into a stunning young woman, despite her suffering. Her beauty radiated like the morning sun. One day, a wealthy man named Mr. Adams visited their home. He was a well-known businessman looking for a good wife for his son. "I've heard about your stepdaughter, Sophia," he told Victoria. "We would like to meet her." Victoria's face darkened. Emily and Olivia had never attracted such a rich suitor before. How dare this offer be the first? She forced a smile. "Ah, you see, Sophia has a cerebral sickness. She sleeps once at night and sometimes talks to spirits." Mr. Adams looked shocked. "Oh dear, that would be dangerous for my son." "Exactly," Victoria nodded. "She's not suitable for marriage." And just like that, another suitor was driven away. This happened again and again. Wedding men came, asking for Sophia's hand, but Victoria always found a way to discourage them. "She steals. She is cursed. She has bad luck." And one by one, they left. Sophia never knew about any of them. Victoria was growing desperate. If Sophia marries first, people will start questioning why my daughters have no suitors, she muttered to herself. So she came up with a plan. The very next day, a poor farmer named Daniel came to the house. He was humble, with old shoes and rough hands from working on his farm. I'm looking for a good wife, he said respectfully. Victoria's eyes gleamed. Perfect! You are in luck, she explained. My stepdaughter Sophia is the perfect wife for you. Sophia, who was in the kitchen, heard her name and came out. Me? She asked in shock. Yes, Victoria said sweetly. Daniel is a good man, hardworking man. You will marry him in a week. Sophia's heart dropped. But I don't even know him. Victoria's smile disappeared. You have no choice. You should be grateful anyone wants to marry a worthless girl like you. Emily and Olivia smiled. I can already see her living in a mud house, fetching water from the stream, Olivia giggled. Or carry firewood on her head, Emily added. They all laughed. Sophia looked at Daniel. He was poor, but his eyes were kind. She swallowed hard. If this is my fate, then so be it. The entire town buzzed with gossip when news spread that Sophia, the most beautiful and well-mannered girl in town, was being married off to a poor farmer. This doesn't make sense, an elderly woman, Mama Grace, muttered as she pounded yam in her compound. Men from wealthy homes came to seek her hand, yet Victoria refused them all. That woman is evil, another woman whispered. I heard she tells suitors that Sophia is cursed. Victoria, however, paid no attention to the murmurs. She sat in her parlor, sipping wine, pleased with herself. Emily and Olivia giggled beside her. Mama, are you sure about this? Olivia asked. Sophia should suffer. But what if this farmer somehow turns out to be successful? Victoria scoffed. Nonsense. Look at him. That Daniel boy is a nobody. His father was a drunk, and he has no real background. He is the perfect match for that useless girl. Sophia sat in her small room, staring at her reflection in the cracked mirror. Her face was pale, her lips dry from crying. Why, Mama? She whispered, tears filling her eyes. Why do you hate me so much? A soft knock on her door made her stiffen. She quickly wiped her tears. Who is it? It's me, Daniel. She hesitated before opening the door slightly. Daniel stepped inside, his eyes warm with understanding. I know you don't want this, he said. And I know what kind of woman Victoria is. Sophia's lips trembled. Then why did you agree? Daniel took a deep breath. Because I see something in you. I know life has been cruel to you, but I promise you'll never regret marrying me. His voice was firm, his confidence unsettling. There was something about him, something different. Just trust me, he added, smiling slightly. Sophia wanted to argue, to scream, to run away, but for the first time in years, someone was looking at her with kindness, not pity, not hatred, just kindness. Maybe, just maybe, this marriage wouldn't be a terrible idea as she thought. Victoria ensured that Sophia's wedding was nothing but an embarrassment. Unlike the grand ceremonies she planned for Emily's and Olivia's future marriages, Sophia's was rushed and hidden from the public eye. The so-called celebration was held at the town hall with only a handful of people in attendance. No music, no decorations, no feasting, just a quick exchange of vows. Emily and Olivia sat at a corner watching the scene with amusement. Look at her dress, Olivia whispered, covering her mouth. She looks like a village maid. Emily chuckled. And her groom? He looks like he borrowed his clothes from a roadside beggar. Victoria clapped her hands in satisfaction. This is exactly where she belongs. As the priest began reading the vows, Sophia stole a glance at Daniel. He stood tall, calm, and composed. His old clothes didn't match his presence. He was something oddly powerful about the way he carried himself. There was something oddly powerful about the way he carried himself. Do you, Daniel, take Sophia as your lawfully wedded wife? Daniel's deep voice rang through the air. I do. Sophia hesitated, her heart pounding. She glanced at Victoria, who smiled wickedly. Something inside Sophia hardened. I do, she said, her voice steady. Gasps ripped through the small crowd. Sophia was now a married woman. Victoria sighed in relief. Good. Now she's out of my way forever. After the wedding, Daniel led Sophia to what she thought would be a tiny rundown home. She braced herself for the worst. A leaking roof, barely any food, a hard life of suffering. But when they arrived, her mouth fell open. The house was simple, yes, but it was well structured, spacious and neat. The floors were smooth. The furniture was arranged perfectly, and there was enough food in the kitchen to last weeks. This isn't what I expected, she admitted. Daniel chuckled. There is a lot you don't know about me. Later that night, after dinner, he sat her down, his face turning serious. Sophia, he said, there is something I must tell you. She frowned. What is it? Daniel sighed, rubbing his hands together. I'm not who they think I am. Sophia stared at him in confusion. You see, he continued, I left my father's home years ago because I wanted to live a simple life. My father, he's one of the wealthiest men in the city. Sophia had stopped. What? Daniel smiled. I'm his only son. That makes me his heir. Her mind spun. Victoria, Emily, Olivia, they had no idea. Her wicked stepmother had thrown her into the arms of a man richer than all her rejected suitors combined. The next morning, Daniel took Sophia on a journey. Where are we going? She asked. You will see. When they reached the city, Sophia nearly fainted. A massive mansion stood before them, surrounded by tall gates. Daniel turned to her. This is my real home. Inside, everything screamed wealth. Expensive furnitures, crystal chandeliers, servers waiting for orders. A well-dressed older man approached them. Welcome home, my son, he said warmly. Father, Daniel greeted. Meet my wife, Sophia. The older man turned to her, nodding approvingly. She's beautiful. You've chosen well. Sophia swallowed hard. Just days ago, she was being humiliated and forced into a marriage of poverty. Now she's standing inside a billionaire's home. Victoria has made the biggest mistake of her life, and soon she would find out. Back in town, Victoria was celebrating. Finally, that useless girl is gone. She laughed. Emily and Olivia clapped their hands in excitement. Now we are the only ones who matter. But their celebrations didn't last long. The very next week, a fancy car rolled into the town. The entire town gathered as the door opened and Sophia stepped out. She was dressed in a stunning gown, wearing gold jewelry, and looking more elegant than they had ever seen. And behind her, Daniel. But this time, he wasn't wearing his old clothes. He stepped out in a designer suit, his expensive shoes shining in the sunlight. Victoria's jaw dropped. What is this? Sophia smiled sweetly. Meet my husband Daniel, the billionaire. Gasps filled the air. You tricked us, Emily screamed. You married a billionaire? Olivia shouted. Victoria's face turned pale. No, this can't be. Sophia tilted her head. Oh, but it is. Victoria fell to her knees. Sophia, my daughter, you must forgive me. Sophia just smiled. Oh, stepmother, if only you knew. That day, Sophia and Daniel gave out money to the poor villagers. Victoria, Emily, and Olivia watched in horror as the same people they once looked down on were receiving gifts from Sophia. You could have had everything, Sophia whispered to Victoria, but your greed and wickedness blinded you. Victoria burst into tears. Please, take us with you. Daniel placed a hand on Sophia's shoulder. It's your choice. Sophia looked at her stepmother and stepsisters, remembering all the years of pain. Then she smiled. Some mistakes you must live with, she said coldly. And with that, she and Daniel stepped back into their car and drove away. Victoria collapsed on the ground, wailing. She had lost everything. And Sophia, she had gained the happiest life she could ever dream of.